Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Shahril. Today, our group will present the assessment 1. We choose Aisyah the Kitchen as our company. Before we go further, let me introduce my groupmate. The first presenter is Akif Ilman. The second presenter is Muhammad Harid Irfan. The third presenter is Nur Ajrina. And the last presenter is me, myself. So, let's proceed to the first slide.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haris Irfan bin Muhammad Hazliuddin. So let's talk about our background business. The name of the business is Aisyah the Kitchen, which is owned by Nur Nadia Nashita. So the type of business is sole proprietorship. Okay, now let's talk about Aisyah the Kitchen history. So Aisyah the Kitchen was established on February 2020 and the business continues to grow till now and has opened a restaurant in Sikamat Negeri Sembilan. So the restaurant is located at number 460 ground floor, Jalan Seri Penaga 7400, Jalan Sikamat, Taman Seri Penaga at Seremban Negeri Sembilan. So the capital have been used by Aisyah the Kitchen is 100,000 ringgit to launch a restaurant at that. So Aisyah the Kitchen are selling food and beverage for dine-in, takeaway and also delivery in Seremban area. So Aisyah the Kitchen focus on Korean food, Negeri Sembilan cuisine and a variety of beverage. So that's all for Aisyah the Kitchen background, and let's move on to business characteristic.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Akif Ilman and today I will be explaining about business characteristic of Aisyah the Kitchen. I will be explaining the 7 aspects in business characteristic, which is the registration, capital, ownership, management and control, liability, profit or loss, and books and account. Now let's start with the first one, which is registration. Aisyah the Kitchen was registered under Act 1957 and was registered under Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia SSM. This is mean that they are legally and have a license to run their business. Next is capital. They start their business at home with RM1,000 ringgit capital. Now their business capital was around 100,000 ringgit, including the store and the assets. Next, for the ownership, the owner of Aisyah the Kitchen is Nur Nadia Nashita. Since Aisyah the Kitchen is sole proprietorship, it means that Aisyah the Kitchen only have one owner. For the management and control, the owner will control all the business activity, and most of the employee in Aisyah the Kitchen is a family member of the owner. So the owner can monitor and control the employee at ease. Next aspect is liabilities. Although we all know that most of the sole proprietorship has unlimited liability, but not for Aisyah the Kitchen. Aisyah the Kitchen does not bind with any bank loan or loan. This is because they use their own savings to raise the business. For profit or loss, all the profit will go to the owner and all of the losses will be bear by the owner. Lastly, for books and accounts, they can choose either to keep or throw away all books and account. Instead of throwing the old books and the old account, they decided to keep the old books and account to monitor their business transaction activity. I think that's all for business characteristic. Next, my friend will be explaining about classification of business item.
Classification of business item. Aisyah the Kitchen use 4 elements which are always represent in every accounting service in managing the business. These 4 elements used by the owners are assets, liabilities, revenues and expenses. The first one is assets. They may be classified as non-current or current assets. Current assets are assets acquired for resale and are expected by convertible into cash within 1 year of the balance sheet date. Aisyah the Kitchen current assets includes cash at bank, cash in hand and account receivable. Non-current assets are physical items which have long-term investment and the item is last for over a year and have financial value to the company. There are 3 categories under non-current assets, which are tangible assets, intangible assets and investment. Aisyah the Kitchen non-current assets includes furnitures and fixtures like chairs and tables, machinery and office equipment. The next is liability, like assets. Liabilities can be classified as either current or non-current. Non-current liabilities, known as long-term liabilities that are due more than a year from the balance sheet date, and current liabilities, known as short-term liabilities that need to be paid within a year from the balance sheet date. For Aisyah D Kitchen, it includes short-term loan, creditors, and account payable. The third is revenues. Aisyah D Kitchen revenues include sales revenues and discount receivable. For example, when she bought stocks from the suppliers, she received a discount or membership price, which means that the price that need to pay is half. And the last one is expenses. Aisyah D Kitchen spent for about RM300 to 400 in ads through Facebook ads. For staff and salaries, they have riders, permanent workers, and part-time workers. For rent, she spent about RM150 for ground floor and 1,000 for second floor. RM1,000 to 3,000 spent for electric bill, and RM250 for water bills. The owner also went to training classes for 3 days, which cost her about RM1,000. Recording process in September. 6 September 2020, Nadia started the business with RM100,000 cash in hand, and 2 days later, the business deposited RM85,000 of the cash into a bank account. 11 September, she purchased the machinery totaling RM8,000, paying by check. On the same day, she bought inventories for RM3,837 from NSK Trading Sendirian Berhad, paying by check. 30 September, goods sold to Aisyah and a cash of RM55.58 was received. 14 September, Nadia spent RM2,200 for the IRS POS system using check. 16 September, Nadia bought an office equipment by cash worth RM2,000. 19 September, she spent RM100 on advertising through Facebook ads on check. 26 September, sold RM12,000 goods to customers on check. 29 September, paid electricity bill RM150 and water bill RM125 by cash. 30 September, paid rent amounting RM3,500 to Azman by check, and on the same day, issued RM7,200 check for employee salaries by month.
I will continue with the general entries. For September 6, debit is asset while credit is only equity. For September 8, debit is asset and credit also asset. This is because the owner transferred the cash into the bank account business. For September 11, debit is non-current asset while the credit is current asset. On the same date, debit is asset, which is inventory, and the credit is also asset where the owner paid it by check. September 30, the debit is asset and credit is revenue, which she sold the food for the customer.
September 14, Nadia spent RM2,200 for IRS POS system using check. On inventories account current, credit bank account current RM2,200, and on bank account current, debit IRS POS system RM2,200. September 16, Nadia bought an office equipment by cash worth RM2,000. Office equipment account current credit cash RM2000, and on bank account current, debit office equipment RM2000. September 19, spend RM100 on advertising through Facebook ads on check. Facebook advertising account current, credit bank account RM100, bank account current, debit Facebook advertising RM100. September 26, sold RM12,000 goods to customer on check. Bank account current, credit sales RM12,000 and on sales account current, debit bank RM12,000. September 29, paid electricity bill RM150 and water bill $125 by cash. Electricity bill account current, credit cash RM150. Water bill account current, credit cash RM125. Cash account current, debit electricity bill RM150 and water bill RM125. September 30, paid rent amounting RM3,500 by check. Rent expenses account current, credit bank RM3,500. Bank account current, debit rent and expenses RM3,500. September 30, issue RM7,200 check for employee salaries by month. Salaries account current, credit bank RM7,200 and on bank account current, debit salaries RM7,200.
Okay, let's get into Aisyah the Kitchen subsidiary books journal. So Aisyah the Kitchen are using 3 journal, and firstly they are using general journal. So on the 11th of September, there is a machinery in folio GL1 with 8,000 ringgit on the debit side and no response on the credit side. For 16 September, there is office equipment in folio GL2 with 2,000 ringgit on the debit side and no response on credit side. So that's all for general journal, and let's move on to the next books by my friends Akif.
Thank you, Haris, for explaining about general journal in Aisyah the Kitchen. Next, for cash payment, on 11 September, Aisyah paid the purchases around 3,837 ringgit. On 14 September, Aisyah paid the Iris POS system around 3,200 ringgit. On 19 September, Aisyah paid for the advertising RM100 ringgit. And on 29 September, Aisyah paid electricity and water bill using cash around 275 ringgit. On 30 September, Aisyah paid to the Azman RM3,500 ringgit. Also on 30 September, Aisyah paid the employee salary around 9,600 ringgit. For the cash receipt, on 30 September, Aisyah received 58 ringgit from the sales. On 26 September, Aisyah received 12,000 ringgit cash from the sales. As I already explained about cash receipt and cash payment in Aisyah the Kitchen, now I will combine it cash receipt and cash payment so you can see it more clear. So we can see the business transaction activity from 11 September until 30 September. So I think that's all for recording cash receipt and cash payment. Next, my friend will be explaining about strength and weaknesses in Aisyah the Kitchen.
Next slide, I will explain about the strength and weakness of the recording process. Aisyah the Kitchen have been used a few types of journal during the recording process, which include the general journal, purchases journal, and sales journal. Besides they use all those journal, the company also has been used WhatsApp, food, and also IRS restaurant post system, which is point of sales for the recording process. By having a business journal, it really helps to analyze the better progress of your business. The journal is placed where they can follow every step that have been taken and see where it lead to be. The strength of recording process using the journal is to avoid omission and duplication during the record transaction. Therefore, there will be no shortage during the closing. Without the journal, you cannot track the transaction that happened on the day. This can make the business lose because we don't know where the money went. Furthermore, it is impossible for the accountant to miss the part of the transaction, duplicate the part of transaction, or incorrectly record debits and credit. Besides that, they use the recording process also for monitor the progress of the business. The company have been used manual systems such as a few types of journal and also assisted by point of sale system, which is POS system. They use manual and also system to record process because this can show whether the business is improving, which are the items selling or the change that need to make. Every business need have a good record to monitor the progress of their business. Therefore, by having a good records can increase likelihood of the business success. Other than that, by prepare the recording process, it will be useful for prepare the financial statement. As we can see in part 4.0, the recording process are very clear and also detailed. Hence, it is very easy to transfer the data to the financial statement. This statement can help the company dealing with the bank or creditor and help to manage the business. As stated on the top of the video, Aisyah the Kitchen also using a system which is IRS Restaurant POS system for recording. The only tool that the POS system is used to submit order, track the order quantity, the item that hot seller and also daily or month sales. But the owner told us the system is not systematic, where a lot of data cannot be recorded in this system. Therefore, they still need to use the manual recording process. And that's all from our group. Thank you.